After walking through the titular character's personal struggles and gripping crime-solving endeavors, Cross Season 1 finally reveals the truth about Maria's murder and Ed Ramsey's motivations as a serial killer. Based on James Patterson's Alex Cross books, Cross is another addition to Amazon Prime Video's catalog of compelling dad books adaptations. The show begins on a grim note, where Alex Cross loses his wife after she mysteriously gets murdered by someone. With what follows, Cross not only struggles to talk about his wife's tragic demise with his children but also finds himself dealing with the case of a dangerous serial killer. While gradually realizing that his wife's killer is still stalking him and his family, Aldis Hodge's Alex Cross races against time to track down a serial killer who is about to end his spree of murders with one last kill. Realizing it is his last opportunity to catch the killer, Cross puts his deductive skills on full display and gradually unravels the tapestry surrounding the killer's motives. Why the police department burned Ed Ramsey's scrapbook in Cross ending. The police refused to give Ramsey what he wanted. Ryan Eggold's Ed Ramsey looking intensely while Aldis Hodge's Alex Cross stands behind him in Cross. Although Ed Ramsey seems to have many tricks up his sleeves to complete his mission of killing 12 people, Alex Cross somehow stays one step ahead of him towards the end and catches him before he murders his final victim, Shannon. In Cross Season 1's ending moments, Alex Cross and his team of police detectives seem to have all the evidence to convict Ramsey of killing 11 people and attempting to murder Shannon. However, they realize it is exactly what he wants. Even though Ramsey fails to complete his mission of killing 12 people, he celebrates that he will be remembered as an iconic serial killer. He believes he has done enough to be remembered as one of the most ruthless serial killers in history and hopes to become as famous as the serial killers he worships through his scrapbook and murders. Realizing that they cannot give him what he wants, the police force tortures him by burning his scrapbook that has evidence of all of his crimes. They even show him the live video in which John Sampson burns his scrapbook to ashes, reminding him how his carefully constructed legacy of violence is being reduced to nothing. With this, they give him the worst punishment he can imagine. Kayla's deal with Bobby in Cross mid-credit scene explained. Kayla strikes a deal that benefits her and Bobby. Alona Tal as Kayla Craig and Johnny Raygill as Bobby Trey in Cross. Alex Cross and his team realize that the families of Ed Ramsey's victims would want answers to what happened to their loved ones. Therefore, after burning Ramsey's scrapbook, they send Kayla to convince Bobby Trey to confess to Ramsey's crimes. Bobby Trey, who was previously a DC cop, finds himself cornered because he helped Ed Ramsey and was expected to get a little over $1 million from the killer. Kayla also assures him that Cross will eventually find proof of all the 2 murders he committed while working for Ed Ramsey. She tells him that if he provides them with the information surrounding at least 6 of Ramsey's victims, they would have enough evidence to frame him as the fanboy killer. In return, he would have to serve a 24-month sentence and also get full immunity. When he accepts the offer, Kayla extends it by reminding him that he might need some financial backing when he comes out of prison. She tells him that if he can get her access to all the dirt Ramsey had on influential people, she could get him paid a hefty sum. Although apprehensive at first, Bobby seems to accept Kayla's final offer. Why Ed Ramsey made his victims look like famous serial killers before murdering them. Ed Ramsey perceived himself as an artist. Alex Cross and the police department label the central serial killer as the fanboy killer because he seems to have a strange obsession with making his victims look exactly like renowned serial killers. He not only makes them look like famous serial killers before murdering them but also feeds them the same meals they were served before they died. He tries to recreate the final moments of the killers' lives down to the smallest details, establishing how much he looks up to them. On the surface, he does this because he sees himself as an artist and appreciates how all the killers he worships embrace the darkness of death instead of shying away from it. However, on a deeper level, his obsession with killing seems to reflect a darker secret from his childhood. As Alex Cross deduces, Ramsey's need for attention stems from his childhood days when his mother gradually became emotionally distant from him after his sister's death. To get his mother's attention, he started by killing birds in his neighborhood. The older he grew, the more his obsession with seeking attention and killing got worse. Therefore, in a final pursuit to be remembered as a renowned killer, he created an intricate process that involved carefully selecting his victims through dating apps based on their similarities to the infamous killers he idolized. With time, he not only started seeing himself as a mere follower but as an artist in his own right, someone who could play God and control life and death in a way that would etch his name in history. Why Peter and Miss Nancy targeted Alex Cross and his family. Peter and Miss Nancy wanted revenge. Alex Cross finding evidence of how Peter and Nancy targeted his family. In its opening moments, Cross Season 1's Episode 4 features a flashback in which a young woman, Deirdre, was accused of ruthlessly murdering a man. Alex Cross was also called to the witness chair, where he said that the defendant showed all signs of a psychopathic personality, making her incapable of re-entering society. Owing to cross statements in court, Deirdre was sentenced to life in prison even though she had a clean record before the murder. Soon after being imprisoned, Deirdre died by suicide because she was abused behind bars.